My boyfriend planned to propose to me, but it became the worst day of my life. Now, they will see me in court, not in the altar. A week ago, my boyfriend told me he had a camping trip planned for Friday with his friends. He said he would have no service and would see me on Sunday. He messaged me at 5 a.m. this morning and told me they were hitting the road. Around 8, I went for a run like I usually do on Fridays. I have one headphone in while I do it because I was on a work call. While I was running, I noticed a SUV that kept popping up. In hindsight, it looked just like my BF's childhood friend's car. I sent a message to my sister saying to stand by and share my location. Right after sending the message, I looked up, and the SUV was right beside me, and someone jumped out and grabbed me. It happened so fast I even dropped my phone on the pavement. I was pulled into this car, and I could tell there were at least 2 masked guys in the back before they covered my eyes. In hindsight, they had cartoonish ski masks and black gloves on. I freaked out and resisted like crazy, screaming and kicking. All I could hear was these guys laughing, and I could feel one of them holding me down by my arms behind me, and the other was holding my legs down at the knees. I don't know how long I was there, but I kept begging them to let me go and crying. I even admit I peed on myself, but I don't think they noticed until we arrived at the house. They pulled me out of the car and I was screaming for help until I was pulled into a house. When the mask on my head was removed, I was on my knees in front of my boyfriend of 2 years. He stared at me with a confused look before asking his friends what was going on angrily. I realized who he was and what was going on and collapsed into sobs. I probably had a 5-minute panic attack in that car, and another sitting in the entryway to his house on my way there. I was sweaty, wearing soiled yoga pants, flushed with fear, and scared for my life. My boyfriend took me upstairs and was going to help me get showered and changed, but I wanted to do that alone. I heard yelling and commotion downstairs while I showered, but I didn't know what is going on. I'm sitting in his room now holding my shattered phone after crying to my sister about what happened. She lives 1.5 hours away but is speeding over to get me now. I can't stop thinking about what happened, and even though I know now I was never in any danger, I don't think my brain can comprehend it. They were snickering and teasing me in deepened voices about what they would do to me. The one that was holding my legs down kept caressing my thighs up and down into the inner area. When the car would brake, his face kept falling into my chest. I don't even know who that was. Update: I'm working with the police now. This will be investigated as false imprisonment if I press charges. My sense of time was so warped. From where I was picked up to his house, I was about 7 or 10 minutes in the car. It felt way longer than that. As for the friends, the driver was his childhood best friend who I get along with well. He was in tears when he voluntarily arrived at the police station for a statement. The other 2 were friends from his athletics class he started attending a few months ago. It seemed like the 2 guys I didn't know wanted in on what otherwise was supposed to be something more innocent. The original plan was for them to pop out of his car in their funny kidnapping attire and hand me a letter explaining that my boyfriend was summoning me and that resistance was futile. The plan seemed to change as the 2 new friends wanted to shake me up and make it feel more real. Update 2. I've calmed down and talked with my sister. We are going to meet up with my boyfriend for dinner tonight. He has respected my request for space but has been emotional whenever he thinks about what I went through this morning. His best friend contacted me repeatedly, apologizing for allowing it to get that far, but I asked for him to stop and he did. The best friend's fiance reached out and has been supportive and apologetic too. Update 3. In short, I'm healing. My now fiance had a private proposal with me last week. We had many tough conversations and his responses to everything reminded me how safe and loved I was by him. He didn't ask for or endorse that type of plan. I've learned that the 2 friends I didn't know were highly influenced by YouTube pranksters and social experiment channels. New. Update. 2024 was crazy for me. I spent the entire year working on myself in therapy. I developed an obvious trauma response to being in public, especially when men would be sneaking up behind me or quickly exiting cars near me, but I also developed a fear that made life tough. I became very afraid of my fiance's friends. I love and trust my friends and family with all of my being, but I couldn't trust anyone who was brought into our life because of a feeling of a loss of control. I decided to end things with my ex-fiance. It was tough and took months to do, but I feel better for it. He is a great man, but his and his friends' behaviors before, during, and after the incident gave me pause. The doubt and mental anguish was too much, and I just had to run away from it all. Shockingly to me, I feel immensely better now. It's almost like a switch went off, and being away from him has greatly expedited my healing. I'm scared of being at my age and starting over, but I'd rather not be married at all than live in stress like I was. Also, here's an update on the legal side. The charges were dropped, and I could not mentally pursue anything further. I will say the lives of his friends have been stained, and I don't care to check the extent. I just know there was a breakup, and one was kicked out of their living situation.